Hi, welcome to The Pursuit of Truth. It is the 23rd of August 2018. Just been listening to some videos on YouTube. I was listening to Beyond the Imaginary Curve and Mel Beauregard. And unfortunately I only caught the end of his yesterday, but I caught up today. And it was interesting what he was talking about. Prison Earth. I don't know if he used that term, but it sounds a good term, doesn't it? To sort of explain our existence and why things are the way they are, and sort of as an alternative to the other two mainstream theories, beliefs of our existence, which obviously is science, which is that, the Big Bang Theory and evolution, and we came out of nothing and it was just coincidence or accident, and then the religious, which is that there's a creator, and our purpose goes with that. Obviously it doesn't still explain. I like the idea. It was quite, it sounds a bit sci-fi-ish. I like it. It doesn't explain, creation as per se, because if this was this planet already here, and we were kidnapped and we were just put on this planet, so then how did this planet get here? So it doesn't really answer the infinite regress problem, but I don't think there's any way of ever answering that, because no matter which way you go, whether you go science or religion, like if you go religion, you say God, what about before God? If you go science, you say Big Bang, what about before Big Bang? It's because our minds are linear, chicken and egg and baby and mother and baby, etc. We see things in straight lines. It's difficult for us to sort of deviate, or how can you have nothing before? But I like the idea and the fact that it explains a lot of things, that why this place is how it is. And, if we were put here, I don't know how many thousands of years ago, if it was thousands of years or million, obviously, if the generation that knew we were kidnapped would already be dead, unless they've told it in story. Let's say they were not as intelligent as us. Maybe they did some paintings or drawings, that show us being kidnapped, when they might not even know what that concept was. But obviously that's easy. You could erase that, isn't it? You could just have those people that were kidnapped and let them breed, and then move their offspring to a different place, and then got rid of the original ones, and then you'd never know that you were kidnapped. So yeah, I thought it was quite an interesting concept. It's just another one of those things we can't really prove, but it sounded, I could see I was going to say the logic to it, but I suppose that's the wrong word to use. But yeah, it was interesting. I just saw a Donald J. Trump tweet where he's now wants to get involved in South Africa. So he was tweeting about, he's sending, I don't know who it is, one of his people to go and check what's happening with the farmers and the land. I assume this is about the Afrikaans white farmers who own 80+% of the farms and the land still, despite, I've mentioned this previously before, I've forgotten his name now. How can I forget his name? Oh dear. Nelson Mandela. I've mentioned this previously, about him not giving the land back to the people that owned it originally, and now because Donald Trump was claiming the South African government are getting involved in getting the land back. Which I guess if it was stolen, then that does actually make sense. But I suppose it depends how you go about it. But it's one of those things that it's never going to be easy, is it? Because people are never going to give up because they believe it's their right then, isn't it? And some of them may have paid for it legitimately. I don't know but it's just, I'm just wondering why Donald Trump is getting involved in an issue that got nothing to do with him. But is it to do with his wanting to keep this sort of white supremacist, white privilege argument that a lot of his supporters seem to like? so he can say that he's a champion of the so-called white man. But yeah, it's very disturbing to see that. So the other thing was this idea of, when people say about flat Earth and stuff like that, and how could we be, how could we be taught something that could be a lie? And I was just thinking about that, how, obviously when we're at school, we don't know anything except what our parents and TV tell us, and teachers fill us with things from books. We're taught. And I was just thinking about another one of these, like, lies in plain sight. The fact that we're taught, that names of countries, that this is Spain, this is Germany, this is England. We're taught all these names, and I remember this myself, when I believe this was the names of countries. There's atlases and books and things that have their names in them. And then when you watch the Eurovision Song Contest, you realise, wait a minute, why are they calling Spain España? Why are they calling Germany Deutschland? Why are they calling, is it Amsterdam? Netherlands? I can't remember. God, no, I'm going to sound like complete bad in geography now. But you know what I mean? They have their own names. So why are we going around calling them different names? Why, even to today, we haven't updated our teaching, we haven't updated our atlases to actually put down the names that the actual country themselves uses. But it's just, that shows you that, yeah, you can be, I suppose to lie to would be, is it a lie? Well, I suppose they would say, no, it's not a lie, it's an interpretation, or this is what we say that we call these places. But I guess you wouldn't like it if someone else called you by a different name. But it just goes to show how much we trust the teaching that we're taught. Right, so then the other thing I was noticing, it's raining outside, and in the area where I live, Croydon, I see a lot more homeless people out in the streets, and I was just looking from where I'm working down. I can see them, in shop, where they can get from the rain on the floor in the shop entrance, and all the people just passing them. And I'm just thinking to myself, why is it we're like that? Why is it, they're our fellow human beings, they're fellow species, and we can just walk past them? Why is it we don't feel concern for them? It's another one of those things that we're taught, isn't it? We're taught to look out for ourselves, that we have to strive, we have to work, we have to, do that. And if we see someone else not doing that, they're a sponger, or they've decided that they wanted to do it themselves. That's programmed through comedies, through, ethoses. But it's so wrong, really, isn't it? If there's a terrorist attack and someone gets run over by a car, we all rush. We all rush to help them. We have that spirit of helping each other. So why is it when there's homeless people, we don't have that same mindset? I don't know. It's just, yeah. Anyway, take care, take it easy. God bless and peace.